Well, joining us today, Congressman Jody Arrington, who has a very big job right now, is, I would call it the heat of the moment. So thanks for taking the time for joining us today. Maybe we jump right into budget. I know that you voted yes on a bill that was DOA as soon as it got to the other chambers. So we should maybe start there.
Well, I authored the bill to responsibly raise the debt limit so that we can pay our bills and protect the good faith and credit of the United States, and at the same time rein in the reckless spending that's driving record inflation that working families are suffering with, and the interest rate hikes, and our economy that is weakening and teetering on recession, and of course the unsustainable debt that's being driven by this spending that will hurt our children's future, will jeopardize their opportunities and potentially their way of life and America's leadership in the world if we don't act responsibly and intervene now. So I'm very proud of the work we've done. Now the ball is squarely in Chuck Schumer's court in the Senate, and it's in the hands of President Biden to respond to our responsible proposal to raise the debt limit with fiscal reforms in place.
Certainly, and even since the vote that sent this bill on to the other side, we've seen a rate hike. I mean, what are voters, Americans all over, supposed to think when they see this and they're hearing, oh, there's no way it's going to pass, oh, there's no, you know, what is a voter supposed to think about that?
Well, I think it's sad and unfortunate that we have politicians in Washington who are supposed to be the stewards of taxpayer monies, who, because of their reckless spending and failed economic policies, have created an economic environment where working people are suffering. They can't afford basic necessities like gas and groceries for their families. They're just barely making ends meet, barely making their bill payments. Meanwhile, you've got President Biden and some of my Democrat colleagues just clutching this blank check so they can continue to spend taxpayer dollars. And instead of doing what American citizens and families are doing right now, tightening their belts, reevaluating their spending habits, and cutting their budgets, we're not seeing that response and that willingness from our Democrat colleagues. Now, I think that's changing because the American people are going to put pressure on them. And the fact that we united as Republicans in the House to pass this responsible debt ceiling legislation, I think that too is going to put pressure on them to come to the table and do the right and responsible thing by including common sense spending reforms and savings for taxpayers while we're making sure America pays its creditors, pays its bills, and protects its good faith and credit.
And there was news just last week, Janet Yellen saying, hey, it's not just June, it's June 1st. I mean, a bill like this takes a lot of time. We know how much went into the House version of this. So are you anticipating that deadline being met? It lights a fire for sure, but I mean, what happens now? That's a lot of steps between right now and truly the end of this month.
Well, the Democrats, my Democrat colleagues, Secretary Yellen and President Biden, have been throwing out every excuse they can, and they've been fighting tooth and nail to keep status quo. I mean, status quo is what's given us skyrocketing prices and a culture of dependency and interest rate hikes and this weak and more vulnerable economy now. So instead of making excuses and being MIA in negotiations for the last almost 3 months, they should have the same sense of urgency to negotiate a responsible debt limit bill. They have to respond now. It's their turn to counter the proposal that we put in place. And they've stalled and they've wasted time. And they didn't think that Republicans, quite frankly, would unite and be able to pass our debt ceiling legislation. But we did, and it includes very sensible spending reductions, like right-sizing our bureaucratic bloat that we've amassed coming out of COVID, work requirements for able-bodied adults receiving public assistance, clawing back unspent COVID monies that have been sitting there for 2 years. The public emergency's over, and we ought to put that money back into the Treasury and towards our children's future in this country. Those are just a few things that we've laid out that I think most Americans would say are more than reasonable, and certainly the responsible thing that they're looking for from their nation's leaders.
Yeah, all eyes on what happens next for sure.